how to drive rear-wheel drive in the snow. The key is you want to make sure you're not giving it too much gas, because otherwise what's going to happen is you give it too much gas, your back tires are going to start spinning, you're going to start losing traction there. So most people are used to front-wheel drive cars. And with the front-wheel drive cars, those tend to understeer when you start spinning the front tires. When you have a rear-wheel drive car, it's gonna start oversteering. So if I take a turn here and I give it even a little bit of gas here, see? It wants to continue turning. So you gotta make sure you give it very little gas, especially when you're in a turn. Another thing that you might find, especially if you have a manual transmission, you put it in first gear and you have so much torque that, you know, you're just spinning the tires. But if you have a manual transmission, you can actually just put it in second gear. And in second gear, you notice how much easier that is? So let's try this again. First gear, try to give it a little bit of power. Not much, just pressing the gas very lightly, and okay, it gets going, but it's a little shaky. Second gear, traction control doesn't even come on. So starting in second gear is another useful thing to try, especially if you're kind of getting stuck. It's really hard to get going. Okay, see, having a bit of trouble. Start in second gear and there you go. So it's possible to do it in first gear. It's just, you've got so much more torque going to the rear wheels in first gear that it's very hard to feather the throttle very gently. Most of the time first gear is fine, but there will be times where you're really gonna struggle. And that's when starting in second gear may be necessary. The other thing to keep in mind is if you start slipping, most important thing to do is just let off the gas, especially if you have winter tires. Ideally, you know, you weren't going that fast to begin with, and you just steer kind of in the direction you want to go, right? It's a very bad idea to just overcorrect and, you know, you're going, let's say you start drifting to the right, just immediately turn it to the left. That's how you can very easily lose control. Okay, so here we're going to demonstrate what it's like in second gear again. Just going to give it some gas. And oh my gosh, so smooth. No traction control light. I'm going to try it again here. Of course, you're going to be feathering that clutch a little bit more. We're at the very low RPMs. You're not going to be causing too much wear and tear on that clutch. That clutch will be okay. You know, it's not like you're revving it to 2,000 or 3,000 RPM. So question is, how useful are snow tires? They're so useful in the snow. Without them, I'd be slipping and sliding. I will say with an all-wheel drive car, you know, they get stuck less often. So I'm always very cautious around hills when it's very slippery like this. But the important thing is, you know, all cars have four-wheel brakes, no matter if they're all-wheel drive or two-wheel drive. If you have winter tires and you're on a two-wheel drive car, you're still gonna stop a lot faster than an all-wheel drive with all-season tires, especially in conditions like these. So yes, all-wheel drive does help you in that you don't get stuck as easily. Not even just snow, but even when it's raining. When it's raining, you know, really helps put the power down. But two-wheel drive with snow tires, that's really gonna help you slow down, and it's really gonna help you take turns much better.